They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it, this is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. I'm your host, Jeff J. Joining me this week is one of my people's real good friend, dude who you see everywhere in the multimedia space. You've heard his voice. You've seen his face. I mean, he's ubiquitous among all media. Yo, I'm in my thesaurus bag. My guy, Jameer Pond. Jameer,
Hey, Jeff, first of all, you don't need to use all them big words to me. Man, throughout ubiquitous. I am, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to, build with you finally. I'm excited, bro. I'm a fan of the show, fan of Power. So, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good to get you on because these are the type of shows and the type of things we always discuss offline. And I told Jamil, I got to get you on Power After Hours. Like we gotta do it at least one time.
That's a fact.
I am like Big Brother follow up, so I will definitely hold you. Like you tell me I'm not gonna hold you. I'm holding you, bro. I am definitely holding you. So
not Big Brother follow up,
bro. It's like, I know he's gonna hit me up. I know. It's just like I may not be on time, but I'm gonna be on time when it needs to be on time.
That's a fact.
That's what it is. So let's get into the episode. We are recapping Power Season 5. Episode 4, Second Chances. What did you think of the episode overall?
Man, I really love this episode, to be honest. Like, I really felt like it tied up a lot of loose ends, in my opinion. And one specifically was, when is Ghost going to grieve, right? Because we're seeing Ghost, and he's keeping it together, at least in the public eye. But this is the first time we kind of see him crumble. And when we see him crumble, it's in a big way. We think he has it all together, he's clean, and then he falls apart. So it's good because you never know when, the grieving period is going to hit. And I was afraid that it wasn't going to happen, but I think the writers did a good job of showcasing that.
Cool. Yeah, man. I was digging this episode, too. I think I like it better than last week's episode.
Me too.
Seems like they were trying to cram a lot in. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't like my favorite. But I will say there were some things answered that I think that was hanging over the show and just little cliffhangers from the beginning of the season. So where you want to start? Who you want to talk about first? You the guest. You can go into whoever.
Who we want to talk about first? Let's talk about Tasha.
Whew, all right, let's do that. That's something that's been prevalent with her, right?
Yeah,
you can see that Tasha's been dealing with the grief, I'd say, better than Ghost.
Absolutely,
and it's relative, right? But better in terms of actually grieving, actually actively looking to deal with the grief.
That's right.
Deal with it and find outlets. She's going to counseling. She's actually breaking down. Like, she's going through the stages of grief while Ghost is just drinking his life away and becoming the ghost of Hell's Kitchen, the ultimate vigilante, killing people to
good.
Broken parts of his soul.
That was a good one, bro.
Thank you, sir. I've been sitting on that. I'm not even gonna front. I've been sitting on that one. But here's one thing that I see. Ghost really blames Tasha for Raina's death.
Which is wild dumb to me.
Right. And
he's wild dumb.
He's lashing out. He's calling Tasha selfish. And it's still hitting Tasha. Like, she's not out of the woods. Like, she's probably going to be dealing with this all season. She's taking sleeping pills to be able to sleep. And if you've known anybody who's had to do stuff like that, it's coming from a place of hurt. And when they're dealing with grief and being medicated while doing that, it's never really a good sign. So she's really fucked up. And he, in dealing with his grief, he's lashing out with her. And of course, she's going to find an outlet. And that outlet is our resident super simp, Terry Silver.
Yo, my man Terry Silver always coming off the glass. Yo, he is the residential cleanup man. This dude is just like getting all the buns off of sympathy and vulnerability. What a creep. But
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he's a creep, but Tasha keeps coming back, and he always lets her back in. No matter, like, I know that Tasha somewhat wants to be with Terry, but I don't think she ever will, like, fully.
Right.
She's too invested.
I haven't seen a dude clear the boards with such efficiency since French Montana.
Dog.
You want to talk about rebounding? Dennis
Rebound. And when Dennis Rodman was the worm, that's Terry Silver.
Yo.
When they was calling him the worm in his prom, that's Terry Silver.
But here's the thing about Terry, right? Dirty Macs rarely prosper for long.
It's never going to happen.
In the short term, but in the long term, it's not happening. He basically one step away from snitching out everybody just to get with Tasha without realizing that there is no scenario where Tasha gets out unscathed, especially since her gun is the one who killed Jones.
Yep.
In some way, somehow, her hands are just as dirty as everyone else's, and he thinks that he could just pick her out and save her and everybody else goes down. And that is selling a dream, my brother. That is selling yourself the ultimate dream.
That's not going to happen. And lastly, I hate his mustache. So I never trust him because his mustache is really, really thin. So
Charlie Chaplin was doing blaxploitation.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. I don't trust it. So
man,
I don't trust it.
Yeah, man. And it's just thinking about Ghost, right? One of the things about this episode is I think for the first time since Ghost went to jail, he's really hit rock bottom. Because even when he went to jail, I don't think it was rock bottom for him. That's just what happened. It was circumstantial, but he was still all right. Like he was descending, but I think here he's hit the ground to the point where Councilman O-Dog,
Councilman Love Hall,
right. Yo, this man is real. Yo, Councilman Tate is the finesse king.
Yo, he's a motherfucking finesser. Bro. Oh my God, bro.
Yo, the way he's able to manipulate, because you think about it from his perspective, he's trying to be governor. This Queen's Child's Project is his baby to get him those votes and that notoriety so that he can take the next level from councilman to governor. Mind you, let's talk about how bold that jump is. You're going from a councilman all the way to government. You ain't even trying to get to mayor. You are skipping goal. You don't even want the $200. You go straight for politics. Word up.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? So
that's a good point.
With him, he's looking at Ghost. And to be fair, Tate is being a politician. And he knows. He keeps telling Ghost what to do. And Ghost is ghosting right now, which is he thinks this is season 2, where every movie he made was lit.
Right. And it's not.
Season 2 was 3 years ago, bro. You are a different Ghost. You are the most powerless character on Power.
He fell off like a bad bag of dope. That's for real, for real.
Like the 92 bricks?
Like the 92 bricks that Hov is talking about. That's Ghost.
What do you believe more, that Hov lost 92 bricks or he could cook better than your auntie can? He can swing the greens better than your auntie.
I'm probably going to say 92 bricks. My aunt could put her foot in some mac and cheese. I don't know if Hov got it.
Where have we gone in hip-hop where we allow our heroes to defile our auntie's cooking?
Yeah. Hov kind of fucked up on that. You know what I mean? Like
greens. He said greens too. He knew.
He did say greens.
He said greens, bro.
And not, bro. I've had some good auntie greens. I'm talking about diabetic foot auntie greens. So I doubt that Hove could cook better than that. Just saying.
I'm telling you, man. I got you on that 100%. Like it's.
Just saying.
I don't know, Hove.
I don't know, Hove. I'm just saying I don't know.
But this dude, he's telling him how to move. He's telling him, yo, I don't think, because he should know why he's not in such a good state, because this dude ambushed him with a press conference. He knows he's going through all this grief. So he's telling Ghost, yo, let me just handle the speeches. You do your little schmoozing. I don't think you're in the best shape to represent. And Ghost, I got this. And I thought it was an ill scene with him on stage giving that speech and seeing Raina in the audience. That was surreal.
I love that. I love that scene. It needed to happen, though. And it needed to happen that way to show Ghost how fucked up he actually was. Like, because he's not, I think he thought he could keep it together in the public eye.
Right.
But he can't. Like, it finally caught up to him. This is something that he can't finesse, as you said prior, like when we were talking about Councilman Tate. He can't finesse his way out of this. He can't smooth his way out of this. He can't fuck fancy like he fucked fancy last episode his way out of this. And that didn't work. It didn't even work. He has no juice.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like I said, you forget about get the strap. It's bring the bottle.
Bring the bottle.
Yeah, bring the bottle. Bro.
Bring the bottle.
Bring the bottle. But
bring the buckle.
But here,
yes.
Yeah, word. But you know, it's crazy because he sees her in the audience. He breaks down. He can't complete the speech. Loses about 40% of the donations they probably would have got. And he's in a point where he's breaking all his rules. Proctor was telling him, you really can't be involved in anything illegal. You got to stay squeaky clean because, for one, if anything else goes down, you have to have plausible deniability. And two, Proctor's just trying to get his law license back. He's trying to be admitted back into the bar, and he knows everybody's wilding. So
he want to be white again.
Right.
He said, I don't want to do this no more.
My man said, I went to all the trouble to change my name, get this law degree, and be right, and I'm gonna mess it up.
Yeah, and you know what word he want to say, but he can't because they cold-blooded killers. But you know what he want to use.
Right. He even wanted to use it with Tommy, and he was like, "I'm not even gonna watch."
And you know what? I wouldn't even be mad if he used it. If you kill somebody at my house, and I'm white, I might throw that word around. I might.
Why can't I use it?
Yeah. Why can at this moment in time? I mean, N-word. Damn. I mean, come on now.
I think this is applicable in this situation.
Absolutely applicable. I wouldn't even be mad.
So this plan with Tate, and this was the one I think the ace that he had in his back pocket, was to make Dre the face of the company, to the project. And Dre, I understand. Dre can see the issues that Ghost had going public, where he didn't really want a public persona, but him. You know, he if you're going to do that, he needs something in for him. And I think when he realized that, if something real is going down with the Jimenez after they got popped, if any of them find out, Ghost Tommy Kanan, they already know they're coming with the full force. And
that's a fact.
This was the ultimate chess move, but it's a horrible move. But it's one of those moves where, you know, like when you play Connect 4 and there's just that one place that you go where you know the game's going to get drawn out, or you in a position you like, fuck it, I just got to put it there. I got to do it. Yeah. Like, that's all I could do. That is a situation that Dre was in. So him accepting to be the co-chair, the co-face, and align himself publicly with Ghost. So if anything happens to him, Ghost is going to get implicated. Like he can't, and all, not to mention that QCP thing is going to get ruined. Because now, Dre's public persona is way better than Ghost's.
Yeah. Remember, Ghost went to jail. I mean, he was found out that he didn't do it, but still, I mean, and his daughter just got murdered. It's not looking good for the St. Patrick name. Right. And I feel like Ghost is in a fucked up position because he knows how much is riding on the QCP project. Because he wanted too, just as bad as Tate, for different reasons, of course, but he wants that.
Right.
And that's why he probably can't smoke them out because anybody else, I mean, What didn't Dre do? I mean, at this point, if he'd have shot him in the boardroom, I would have understood.
Right.
But now he gotta play cool, and one of my favorite words, key with this dude that caused the destruction of his whole family.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying, and I don't think Dre is going to be able to finesse this situation like Ghost would if he was put in this situation. But I do think if this was dominoes, he locked the game.
Yes.
I don't know what pieces he got.
Yes.
But he locked it. You know,
like how many cards you got?
Exactly. Like, oh shit, I still got three. But you know,
I'm telling you. But it was a power move, no pun intended. And Dre, I love Dre's speech where it was all subliminal. Where he's you know, I went to go work for the competition, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Yeah,
you know, now that our public ties are aligned, you know, I think we'll be able to work better together. And I like when he was like, Rashad, I'll never forget this.
Yo, isn't that crazy?
Yo, you see that was face change when he was smiling and he looked at Dre? I need that gif, yo. GIF, whatever you call it.
That it's almost like the Chris Paul when he was like,
yes,
he was like, ha, and it turned his head immediately. It was like that. It was like, I gotta play cute, and then once I turn my head, it's like it's a wrap. Like I hate these people.
Right.
And Dre's speech, like you just said, was like the biggest nana boo-boo.
Right.
You can't catch me right now.
Right.
I was like, damn, this shit. Like, when is the disrespect going to reach a feverish pitch? I don't know, but it's not going to end well.
Right. And you know, do you think about Ghost? He wasn't coping well with the loss of his daughter. He lashing out at Tasha. So Tasha decides to leave him. So he's back to being alone.
Damn.
He's broke. And then on top of that, he has to work with Dre, and there's no way to get him out of the picture. So right now, this dude is losing. Speaking of losing, Angela Valdez.
Oh, man.
So many, she puts the L in Valdez, right?
Yeah.
Bro.
She puts the L in Latina.
Bro, all of
that.
You gotta freaking like roll your L's like
right, exactly. OD.
So,
bro,
she worked this case. They worked it 20. This is the best their office has worked since probably season 3. This is the best their office has worked. They got Arturo to roll on the Jimenez,
which didn't take long at all. I mean, this dude is
But you could tell he wasn't about it because he didn't kill Lorenzo and he took the blame and he was always shaky about it.
Mad shaky.
No, he wasn't. He's not built like that. He already knew, like, yo, I'm giving him up quick. They captured the Jimenez. They got these dudes. They like this is, and you know that's the type of case that you could call your shot for the rest of the life.
It's over, right?
You could do anything you want, and what happens? This dude Steve, my man Steve, comes out of nowhere with, and you think about it, this is the same thing she did to Blanca.
That is a good point.
She went over her head, made it a Fed case. Give me all of the files. Now the DEA comes in. Yeah, I'm here on business, higher than both of our offices. I got to go talk to them. And it is so ill to hear him talk to Alicia Jimenez and break it down. Like they broke it down. Yo, your cartel actually stabilized the area, so you're too big to fail.
Yeah,
we can't capture you yet. Y'all gotta go back and handle that cartel. What are you doing? Like it was almost like he's looking at him like, yo, what's wrong with y'all? How y'all get
exactly? How y'all get caught?
So
that shit was bugged out,
bro. And even iller than that, the twist that Alicia wanted Diego to get popped,
and that's But if you do look at it, I mean, from a business point, it makes sense. Right. Like, he was doing a lot of fucked up, wild shit that was making shit just wild hot or made no sense. And since he was making things hot, I mean, it's fucked up because that's his blood. But she was like, this dude is better off in jail and me running a business than him being on the street with me. I can't pretend no more. He gotta dip. He gotta be caught.
Right.
I was like, wow.
You see, Steve wasn't even trying to hear that. He was like, yo, y'all got to do your own dirty work. And she's the one who planted the gun. She planted the gun. And what's ill is, at first I was a little confused. Like, how is that? How did you plan all of this? But she was trying to get to Mexico the whole time.
Yeah.
That's why she restructured the org so Dre takes care of all the business.
She wouldn't have to be there.
Right. She paid off his debt. Diego six. Yo, that's a lot of liquor.
Yo, bro.
Low. $60K?
Bro.
Like a week? Like 2 weeks?
What's wrong with people?
Yo, I wish.
He's a liability.
I need Diego to go to Navient for me and go blow that money. You know what I'm saying? You want to blow $60K? You want to blow some money? Like, yo, take care of these loans for me, bro. Word up.
Sally Mae. Yo, put a hit on Sally Mae.
Word.
Yeah, like,
let's extort Sally Mae. Put her fire.
Facts.
Something. So you know, we so he pays off the $60K. They restructure the org. Cristobal now is gonna know how to do the book so that they have expansion. Like she's low key setting up fail safes for depending on who goes down. But she just couldn't get off the tarmac because they figured it out too quick. So Angela loses that, and then on top of it, she loses another love interest. Now, I don't really have any compassion for that because after Greg Knox and everything that happened with you, after you got your job back, after really coming within a hair of being arrested and losing your license to practice and losing your job, you're going to mess with some random dude from DC that just so happens to work in the same field as you?
Yo.
Just because? And you didn't even think for a second, yo, you had Sandoval under your nose the whole time and he was with Lobos. Who the hell is this dude?
Yo.
You wouldn't think about that for the second?
That makes such a good point. And this is why I kind of voted Steve the MVP of this episode. Because not only in the previous episode did he wax that ass, but like as soon as she threw up the last shot and it was wide open, she was wide open in the corner about to seal it. He just comes out of here with a LeBron block and just blocked her whole shit. Right. He said, I fucked you and now you're fucked. Boom. Drops mic. Shout out to my man Steve, man.
But he even kept it classy. He was just saying, like, yo, just because I liked you doesn't mean I wasn't gonna have to do my job.
I'm doing my job. Like it's
But he low key, that was type fuckboy behavior because he knew it would have came to that. He knew that it was gonna come to that, but he probably was figuring, yo, maybe it'll take them a little longer.
Exactly. Or maybe I could just get the buns right now.
Right.
We'll cross that bridge when it get there. Definitely fuckboy behavior, though.
Bruh. I was just like, yo, he was probably like after he hit, he was like, damn, they found him already. Like, damn, I was in town for like another week.
Yeah, like, damn, I could have hit again.
Right. We could have went out to another dinner.
Yeah.
All of that, man. All of that. So Annie, she's left without a love interest. She gets burned again by another love interest. It falls within her line of making bad decisions.
Of course.
Loses the case, loses the Jimenez, and then he throws a bone talking about you could build a more ironclad case. They had the gun. They had
everything, bro.
Both brother and sister. They had everything, and there was no more ironclad than that. Like, yo, yeah, Steve was really in his bag. Steve was really in his bag for sure.
Dog, like she was the one that found out that they were brother and sister. Like she put all this shit together.
Bro.
But I will say that karma is very heavy this season. I think it's a heavy theme. And I believe that was instant karma. She did a lot of shit leading up to this that would result in something bad happening. I will say. Like, even though it looked good, like with the Tasha situation, she still did that. She was jeopardizing, a lot of shit throughout the whole, like all the seasons. And it's leading up to this. And it's like you said, it's probably the biggest L that she's taken, especially for her career, which she's passionate about. And then, she just, Steve slayed it. Steve slayed it. Shout out to Steve, man.
Steve Tampio.
Yo, Steve's the MVP.
Legend. But here's the thing. Here's the craziest thing. her L, that might even be the biggest L she has on deck. She's being investigated through multiple channels. Because Mock and Sax, they want everybody gone. They hit Proctor with a warrant to find Bailey Markham. They got Teresi as a mole, and they're tailing Tom. Like they want, because they're still tight that they lost that original case. Yeah. So now they want everybody, including Angela's job. And if Angela loses her job, then that means they can slide right back into where they were. So on that end, she's got to contend with that. And she sees that they're still tailing Egan. So for that, in that regard, she might start to catch on. But she doesn't know is that Blanca is still keeping her investigation going. And now she's starting to piece together the things that Angela was hoping that she didn't. So she's not going to stop. And she already discovered with dude that Daryl, who she used the login to delete the file. Right. This dude is suspended. So now she's putting all the pieces together. So Angela, if the right don't get you, the left one will. You talking about karma.
Dog, it's going to come back. Yo, it's going to come tenfold. Like, she's done a lot of crazy shit just to cover her own tracks and also other people's tracks. When she found Tommy on that list that Sax and Mox were looking for him and had him under investigation, you saw on her face, it's like, yo, I got to deal with this shit again. Like, right. Bro, hey, look, I'll be honest. Sometimes you got to snitch. I'm not, sometimes you be like, look, I fucked up. But these motherfuckers over here, and sometimes is it worth it? Like, she wasn't even messing with Ghost. Or when's the last time she spoke to Tommy? Like, I understand there's still a lot of like they also know a lot about Angela, so I guess it's not that easy. Like, she's stuck in this, right? But I would have snitched a long time ago, to be honest with you.
She about to say it ain't snitching if you got it. Turn it up. But speaking of Tommy, our favorite resident hothead, the man who's never seen a good decision that he didn't like.
Oh my God.
This dude. It is so ill that Tommy is the friend that makes the horrible decisions, and when the horrible decisions are coming, and what he's going to say when you tell him it's a horrible decision, and Bill's going to make the horrible decision anyway.
Of course.
And we all have a Tommy or two or three in our lives.
Or 9.
That man is the archetype for bad mistakes were made.
Dog. It's embarrassing.
To the point that Ghost has to conspire with Kanan behind his back to devise a plan to get him to stop messing with Teresi, because they all have that inkling. Kanan sees it, Ghost sees it, the dudes in the mob, some of the young boys in the mob see it.
Dog.
How did this man come home so quick? Like, y'all not worried? Like, you think this was night and day? He was sitting for 25 years, and all of a sudden,
it was on life, yeah.
And even though Tommy's skeptical, you still messing with him. And I think it was important when they said it. I was watching the Power recap that Courtney Kemp does after the episode.
Yep.
And she even said, the thing about Tommy is he never had he's always had one family. Like, when Ghost says, he's been your family 15 minutes, I've been there your whole goddamn life.
Yep.
Now Tommy has options. And let's keep it real. He probably has options that are more relatable to him just from a
complexion standpoint,
background. He never had a father, so he's absorbing this. It's a certain amount of power because now he's with the mob. So this is all new to him, and he's trying to internalize that. You know what I'm saying? So
which I get, but all right. So 2 things. One, I think you made a valid point when you spoke about Ghost and Kanan have to conspire to try. Like, let's not forget that Ghost set this man on fire.
On fire, man, on fire.
He was on fire. Kanan got his son addicted to lean. If these 2 people are conspiring to say, hey, you need to chill, your father's up to something crazy, then that's how you know. Like, I would have thought about that and been like, oh shit, well, maybe I do need to listen because that makes sense. Second of all, if anybody knows anything about, street code, if you just looked at Law and Order maybe once or twice in your life, if somebody's doing life in prison and they get out randomly, does this not make you want to like move back away from somebody? Because they clearly cut a deal.
Right.
He was a mob guy. This dude, it wasn't like mistaken identity. He wasn't just some like random Joe Schmo that was in the wrong place in the wrong time. He's had bodies. He's conspired to do things. He's run a drug and mob organization. And then he just gets out of nowhere. I'm staying as far as away from that dude. If I was Tommy, I wouldn't even believe that this dude was my father at this point.
Right. You need the DNA test. You got to go to Maury. Somebody.
No, let's go to Maury.
Teresi gonna be on the screen like, he got my eyes. Look at his earlobe. Look at his earlobe.
You see that nose bridge, Maury? You see that nose bridge, don't you?
You gonna tell me that's not my kid? How you gonna tell me? You sit up here on this stage, you think this is a joke? You think I'm gonna cartwheel when you tell me what I know?
What am I, an asshole?
Right.
What am I, huh?
Yeah, they always ask the question where you like, if the answer is yes, you're like, no, you're not really. I mean, you could be. You could be. And that doesn't take away the fact that it's true or not. You know what I'm saying? But there's no Tommy, right? So Tommy, hey, the plan was ill. But this just shows, like, Kanan, they made Kanan such a strategist.
Yes.
Where they were going to do a drive-by and shoot with blanks to make Tommy toxic to the mob.
Mm-hmm.
And he does this and gives them the option, the the random dudes he hires, gives them the option of bullets. Like, yo, just have these just in case. Knowing that these dudes is going to say, fuck that, we ain't using fake rounds. We're going to use
bitches. Rounds. Yeah, we're going to shoot. Yeah.
Then turns around and kill these dudes after they did the drive-by. He came out like super gangster. He was like, what was his game? Bulletproof? What was the name of it?
Oh, yeah, Bulletproof.
He came out like to save the day. Then told Vincent, the mob boss, that Tommy still had drug beef.
Dog.
And that's what it was. And now Vincent is like, oh, dude is lying.
Yeah, he was like, he told me he got rid of that situation.
Right. So now, and I love it when Kanan knows something's going on because he smiles. He says a little smile like, oh, I got you, motherfucker.
I got him.
Right. So now it's like with that, he's setting another phase in his plan to take Tommy out because now he's endearing himself to the mob. So if he ever wants to make a connection with them, although, there's always still the ties. Like Vincent asked, do you know those guys? I mean, I know y'all all don't know each other.
Yo, bro. Yo, when he said that, I was like, just say it because they're black. Just say it.
Right.
I'm like, just say it. I was like, I know that's what you want to say.
He said, we don't be having problems with black people like that. So,
right.
Well, kumquat. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. What am I, an asshole? That was right. What am I, an asshole? You guys clearly know each other.
He's like, I don't want to be a snitch. Come on, you're secret good at me. Tell me. I need to know. Come on. I need to know. We'll handle this. Because he was ready for smoke. He said, if it's still that drug stuff, we can handle it. Like, just let us know. Like, he wanted all the smoke. But here's a couple of things that I think people might nitpick or whatever. I was looking at it, right? First of all, I think it's hilarious that they're having this conversation. Kanan tells Ghost about Teresi being out, and he didn't know, right?
Right.
And then he goes, yo, can I talk to Tommy for a second? Like, Kanan can't overhear what you saying.
Yo, he was mad loud, bro.
Yo, like, what was the point? What you just mad loud over there? And then on top of it, you brought it up earlier. How Ghost has all of a sudden just become super casual with Kanan again. Like there's no trepidation in his voice. It's like back before the show started. Like they were peoples.
I'm like, y'all tried to kill each other on numerous occasions.
Right. He's getting comfortable. Maybe it's the grief. I don't know, but it's just weird.
All right, but not to cut you. That's a good point though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the grief, because grief often has people, whether it's drug of choice, whether it's alcohol of choice, whether it's like sex or anything, you need something to fill that void. And sometimes things that are familiar help fill the void quicker.
Right.
So maybe that's part of the process. I don't know. But Ghost just looks so weak right now. And you've confirmed that he's had something to do with your son turning on you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had something to do in the past, even before like your daughter passed, like just like family issue. And he tried to kill you. Right. He tried to kill you. It's not that like you can't be that cool afterwards.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna be going to Curl Fest and whatnot. Like,
yeah.
Trying to link up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
For brunch, what you trying to do for brunch?
Yo, what it looking like? What y'all on today? What y'all on?
Yeah, don't text me. You tried to kill me. Don't text me. Don't text my phone, bro. You tried to murder me. Like, it's wild. That's wild.
What did you think about the last scene with Ghost finally? Yo, Angela treated Ghost like a dude. Like, yo, I just been mad busy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, he finally meets up I like the cinematography of the scene.
I love it.
That was dope. But it was funny that she was just like, hey. It's like, what you mean? Hey, I've been calling you for 3 episodes.
My daughter dead and shit. Like,
how many episodes I gotta call you? You was waiting for the mid-season finale. We only got 10.
Yo, I thought I thought it was really good. I thought the end was really, really good, because like you said before, these people equally have hit rock bottom. And when they hit rock bottom, something tends to happen like over time. Like you rise from the ashes like the phoenix. And in a lot of ways, these two were incomplete without each other. They've always, since the series has begun, they've always had each other in some way, shape, or form. When shit got bad with Tasha, Ghost was there. Remember, Ghost was gonna fucking leave the state and leave his family for Angela. So without Angela there to kind of help him through this, he was even more incomplete than he usually is without her. So now that I feel like these two have hit like rock bottom together, they're now finding comfort in each other. And, you know, I don't know what the upcoming episodes will bring, but this might be the turnaround in some way, shape, or form for the both of them if they link back up.
Right. So watching Courtney Kemp's quick recaps,
mm-hmm.
said one of the reasons why this episode was named Second Chances was because of that final scene.
Yeah.
Angela and Ghost, where they've gone through hell. They both hit, you know, they're both this episode, they've been stripped. Their power has been stripped away. You know what I'm saying? So now they can only find solace in each other, the familiar thing that helped them escape from lives that they weren't feeling at the moment.
Yeah.
Now they're back together. I also think it's a second chance. The episode, it's Teresi. He's getting second chance at life, but he's also doing it at the expense of Tommy. Because even though he's never been a snitch, he's breaking his code. Even if it's not on the family, he's still snitching to get a final chance at seeing his wife before she passes, and just of life. You know what I mean? So it's that regard. And then also you think about the attempts that Dre has made to get close, like to be this, because he's always had this aspiration to be a kingpin, to be what Ghost and all of them were. And now he has another chance to do that through the Queen's Child Project.
Yep.
To have that complete face. So everybody's getting a second shot to do something, but it may not necessarily work out in their favor.
I don't think it will. I think if I could make a prediction on
Do it.
No.
No, I said let's do it.
Oh, okay. If I can make a prediction, I don't think it's gonna work out in Teresi's favor. That's somebody like for sure I know it's not gonna work out. And I say that because Tommy is homicidal, and he's killed the woman that he loved already. I'm pretty sure once he finds out what's going on, he has no problem killing the father that he's known for. How many episodes? We could say like 5,
half a season, maybe a full season, like since half of the season of last year.
Yeah. So maybe like 10 episodes. I'm pretty sure he won't mind putting the bullet in his ass. I think if he's pushed or provoked to, if he finds out and his back is against the wall, but I don't think it's gonna end, or it's the mob that's gonna take him out. Like when you snitch, it's gonna be hard for you to keep that under wraps, and people are already having suspicions about Teresi. So I don't think it's going to end well for him. Definitely.
Word. All right, so let's get to these questions. We already recapped the episode. We did a thing. Let's get to y'all questions. So first up, what do you think of the writing this season? And if a major character dies, who? So we touched on this earlier this season on Power After Hours, just to see if anything has changed. I have different co-hosts and stuff like that. So, and I'll even intertwine this with my man. Shout out to my man Chris Law. We were talking. We get real life questions too. So he said he feels like this season the show is falling off a cliff because there's nobody to root for. Everybody's trash. Everybody has a reason why you would hate them. Like really, the only person that you wouldn't have hated was Raina, and Raina dead. So everybody has a reason. There's a reason why everybody like you would hate everybody. So for that reason, he feels like the season is starting to careen off of a cliff. What do you think about that?
Well, to put in perspective, I would say you're absolutely right. The only character that I don't have hate for is Lil Ghost, which is Ghost's daughter that we never see, only with her grandmother conveniently. I was like when I saw the scene when Tasha was packing up, I was like, where did you come from? Where was you hiding, Lil Ghost?
Yo, I think her name is Yazmine. She hides wherever Bobby Shmurda's hat went. She be in there and then pops up from time to time.
Yo,
yes, bro.
That is an absolute fact. I'm like, where the fuck did you come from? Like, stop. Like, it's either you gonna be, and it's always weird because she always appears when her grandmother is there,
right?
And I'm like, Debbie Morgan hasn't been like reoccurrently on the show since what, season 1?
Right.
I'm like, so you like. Where you been? You ain't gonna say nothing. You ain't gonna cry nothing. So maybe I take it back. Maybe I do hate her. I do. She's like emotionless. Like she doesn't. Like what are you there for?
So here's the other thing that I will say. I don't know if there was really anybody to root for in the history of this series. Like you may like people more for the stuff that they do, but in terms of rooting for somebody, I would say I rooted for Ghost in the beginning because he was trying to get out and Tasha wouldn't let him. We did this at the beginning of the episode when we talked beginning of the season when we talked about who is to blame for Raina's death. You could make a case for Tasha because when he tried to get out all the way in season 1, she clowned him. Like, what the hell else you gonna do? Be the manager of truth? What you think this is? Like, you know what you do. This is what you do. So she started. So it's ill to see her character. She started out as the one who did not want to get out of the game because she couldn't see a future. Now. It took Raina's death for her to really, Raina's death, Ghost cheating, all of that, for her to say, yo, this life is different. Like we need something different. Like something has to change. So now her mentality's changed for that. So I could say in the beginning, I think Ghost wasn't like a sympathetic figure, but you did root for him, and especially I rooted for him to do cool shit. Like season 2 is my favorite season of Power, and that was where he was moving. He was moving on everybody. He was so smooth. But I personally don't think anybody's there to be liked. Like to be liked. It's just which evil do you like more?
I think that's a really good point. I'm trying to figure out in the series who have I liked?
Right.
Like who was dope? Like who did I root for? And I think you make a good point. It's like everybody has had two sides. Maybe the only person that I genuinely was like, I fuck with them is what's my man's name that he died?
Julio.
Yeah. Julio was that dude. Like Julio was a straight up dude. He got set up, he got killed. I don't think I knew about him enough personally to see like his background, to see if he was like a snake or he was like two-sided. He just seemed like a really good dude. And he got murdered. Everybody else, scumbag.
I would say that was one of the things that I wished about Power, was that we got at least an episode, maybe like parts of episode where we could see Julio, because he left the Toros Locos and he basically need a deal for him to get out. And they allude to it, but just knowing why he wanted to get out, what's his background, I think that would have been ill to see. Shout out to J.R. Ramirez, dude.
Yes.
Every time I turn around, he got a new show. So, shout out to him. I think Manifest is the show that's coming on NBC. So, but yeah, I think pound for pound, you know what? Yeah, Julio is the character that you could root, that there was no issues. You always rooted for because he was
exactly
down for the cause.
Yeah,
down for the cause.
Yeah.
As far as the writing this season, I think overall it's been good. I think last season was the worst season of the series.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was the worst season of the series, just in terms of what happened and the way certain turns take and just logic. I think it was the worst of the season. But I like the way this episode, this season is going. I think Dre is being written well. Like this,
yes.
There was no exit strategy for me with him. So I thought he would be gone by halfway into the season, but now he's the Bond villain.
Yep.
I love it.
He gotta be there. That's why I tell people, like, people be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when is Dre gonna die? And I said, he has to be there.
Right.
He has to be. He plays a pivotal point. Like his part in the series, he's making things move really, really, really well in terms of plot line.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of the story, he has to be there. He makes sense. He's necessary.
Word.
So I was like, I said, to talk about, further on, like the part 2 of the question, if we had to see somebody die, I don't think it would be him as a major character. Somebody that we are accustomed to, that we sort of root for, will die before Dre.
Yeah.
My prediction.
I believe that. I can see Proctor.
I can see Proctor. I can see Proctor getting shot in the face. Yeah.
Although, they're going to use Jerry Ferrara for as much as they can.
Get that coin.
Right.
Get that coin.
But I could see Proctor going. I could see Teresi going.
Definitely.
I could see him going too. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's on the table. Next, I want to know what's your take on what he said and his reaction, because he was tripping. And this is about the scene where Tasha was packing to leave Ghost.
Oh God.
Yo, he was hurt. I mean, that's really what it was. He was wilding. Like I think we touched on it earlier. He was wilding, but he was hurt. Like you could tell she was talking facts, and he was just like, "All right, well, leave." Remember that episode? He was like, "Step."
Right.
I don't even know why you still here. Step.
And then she left. He's like, G.
So
damn,
he was hurt. And then when she left, he realized, yo, I'm all alone. So he was definitely big wildin'. He wasn't even small wildin'. He was
big wildin'.
So yeah, I would say that. Thank you for the question. I'm starting to think that Tariq is Kanan's son. I talked about this last week, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case because, one, if he was Tariq's father, then that means he'd be Raina's father too, because they're supposed to be twins. So that
there you go.
That's too soap opera-y to go down. I don't think that's the case. I hope it's not the case, but I don't think that's the case. One thing I mentioned last week, I think rape is on the table, or some type of funny stuff that happened between Kanan and Tasha.
Oh, definitely.
But I don't think that he's their kid. Those are his kids. I don't think that's the case. Because even if he had an inkling that those were his kids, I don't think he would have allowed what happened to Raina to happen. And he didn't even show that type of remorse. Maybe he just doesn't know. But I think it's a little far fetched.
Dog, what happens if little Ghost is his?
Yazmine?
Yo, or whatever her name is. Yes, Yazmine. We'll call her that. What happens if Yazmine is his kid, though? That would make sense. And if they was like, oh, the baby's Yazmine, and she just does a slow turn.
Well, I think that's out of the question too, because I believe Kanan was in jail when she was born.
Oh, damn.
Remember,
you know everything.
Season 1.
You know everything.
So that's the case right there. So that it's got to be either Raina or Tariq, or he did something that he doesn't know, because Tasha wants his fade. Like
facts. OD
wants her face something crazy. So yeah. Thank you for that question. One more. I'm getting confused about the ownership that Ghost has in Truth. Wasn't Dre working there last season? So what happens now? How the hell is Ghost still working at Truth and Dre isn't? So this has been a thing that shout out to my power group chat. This is something that we've been trying to figure out.
I was a little confused on that too, bro.
Right.
To be honest.
We've been trying to figure that out the whole season. And I wasn't really sure, but now when I saw the scene with Dre working Karen Bassett's books, I get it now. If you remember, Ghost was trying to flip that deal with Karen Bassett to get Truth and him to manage the clubs in her hotels. So that was the big deal, because he has Truth and the two other clubs in Miami that we don't hear about anymore. We just don't hear about those clubs. I don't know what the hell is happening.
Yeah. They like disappeared out of nowhere.
Right, but they're still in Miami. Still in Miami, but we don't ever hear about them anymore. So I think when he went to jail, that deal blew up. But remember, she was throwing Dre the eyes, and Dre was always the front person for Ghost's business. That's why in the speech he said he went to the competition. He was talking about the Jimenez, and he also was talking about Karen Bassett.
Right.
So he basically took Ghost's spot, managing the clubs in the hotels with the expansion while he's running the drugs in the hotels, the Jimenez's drugs through their hotels. Right. So that's what it is. So once the whole Raymond Jones thing blew up, and once Dre realized that Ghost knew or whatever, Dre just dipped. Once all that stuff happened, Dre just dipped. So now he's not working there anymore. I will say it was very clumsy how that I have to come to that premise really by context clues, because they don't talk. They don't
thoroughly explain it. Right.
They haven't really explained it. So you don't really know what the hell happened. You don't know what the hell happened at all. So I literally had to pay attention and lock in to make sure that I knew. So that's why for me, I'm like, okay, this is what I think it is. But trust me, where there was no shortage of me sitting down and having to put together the the picture board with all the lines being drawn like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So I had to get the FBI board up to right. It out. But that's what I think it is. Okay. But trust me, anybody who's confused, you're not alone. Trust me.
Okay.
I had to figure that out.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never even thought about that. I just kind of let it go. But you're right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what is it? That's what it is. That's what I was about to go into something else, but no, that's it.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So that's it from our questions. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted. And as always, if you want to submit questions, you can hit us Nonstop Culture on Twitter or at Fanbro Show. And of course, me at Jeff J Says on Twitter and IG. You have any questions, comments, slander, jokes, anything, we read it on the air. Jameer, that's it for us, bro.
Hey, man, definitely appreciate your time. Appreciate the banter. I laughed. I cried. I just learned, just different perspectives about the show. I mean, you're really good at what you do, bro. I just hope that I can be invited back to talk shit with you again in the near future, because I got to get off my power reactions. Sometimes I don't know how to feel.
You got the open invite as the crew that's listened to us know, dedicated. You know, I be trying to find mad times and everything to get people on, but we're getting this out Tuesday. So, Monday nights, you know where I'm at, you know what I'm recording. So that's what it is. And you always got the open invite. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at It's Jameer, ITSJAMEER on Twitter and Instagram. And I am Jameer on Snapchat. So just look me up. I follow back. I'm cool. Shot me a holler.
Anything coming up?
Man, got a lot coming up, my brother. I'll be moderating an event called From the Ground Up. It features my homegirl and just friend and entrepreneur Safira Martin from Black Girl Podcast. And, it's sponsored by Verizon. She selected me as a moderator. And, I'm geeked for real. So August 2nd on West 24th Street, right in the city. It's free. So hit me up, or you can hit my link on Instagram, and you guys could just register and come through. Come through and just, see Black people progress. That's what I'm proud of the most, that my homie is progressing and I get to talk to her for a little bit.
Don't think that I didn't hear that, sponsored by Verizon. So you already know. Drink August 24th. All the way on Jameer for sure. Word up. My brother, it was a pleasure. Thank you for joining me. And as always, thank you to the fans. Thank you for everybody who listens, who loves the show, who hates the show, and loves to hear us talk about it. I appreciate you. As always, you can find us on Fanbro Show feed and Nonstop Culture, the simulcast. Anywhere where your ears can pick up digital signal, that's where our podcast could be. If you want to hear all the episodes, including past episodes, go to nonstopculture.com/power and you get everything in one place. And that does it from me. I'm Jeff. You can find me at Jeff J Says on all social media. That's another edition of Power After Hours. And until next time, we'll catch you later. Peace.
Peace.
Say what? I just come from bright light, city light. This is where it goes down. Yeah. I just happen to legal, baby. I gotta make it. Southside.